Good morning, guys. Matthew 16:13 through 23. So Jesus asked the disciples, "Who do people say that I am? And then who do you say that I am?" And Peter speaks on behalf of the disciples, and he says, "Well, people will say you're a lot of different things. People say that you're uh, Elijah. People say you're John the Baptist, etc., etc. But I say that you are the Christ. You are the Son of the living God. You're the Messiah." And Jesus is thrilled with this answer because this is what he's looking for. They're finally getting it, and he says, "You are blessed." He blesses Peter and says that the church is going to be built on Peter, and that the gates of hell won't prevail against it. And it's this really cool moment where the disciples and Peter are verbally recognizing Jesus is the Son of God. He is the Messiah. And so then the scripture basically does a 180. Because right here in the very next section, we're coming off Jesus blessing Peter, Peter doing a great thing, and right after, we've got Jesus foretelling his death and his resurrection. And immediately, when Jesus talks about this, Peter is like, "No, this isn't going to happen," and he rebukes Jesus. And he says, "No, that you will not die. This isn't going to happen." And it's him not getting the full picture, right? I get it. He loves Jesus. He doesn't want Jesus to die. But you're not understanding what God's trying to do, right? You don't see the full thing. And so Jesus doesn't mince words. And he says, "But he turned and said to Peter, 'Get behind me, Satan. You are a hindrance to me, for you are not setting your mind on the things of God, but on the things of man,'" right? So we go from blessing Peter to "Get behind me, Satan." Right? And I think that kind of shows you what our Christian life can be like, right? We can be so faithful one minute and then go home and just be selfish and not give God everything in every part of our lives, right? We can be very separated in how we live our lives. Well, I'll give this one part of my life here, this part of my day to God, but then when I go here, I'm living for myself, right? And Peter's distracted and doesn't see the full picture of what God is trying to do, and so Jesus rebukes him. And I don't think he's actually calling him Jesus, but more like Jesus, or that he's calling him Satan, but more like Jesus is recognizing that this is Satan. This isn't Peter talking, this is Satan. So he says, "Get behind me, Satan. You're not going to hinder me. You're not going to stop me from doing what God has called me to do." And then he tells Peter, "You're setting your mind on the things of man, not on what God has called me to." And so he's given this example that the Christian life is going to come with suffering. It's going to come with the negatives, and you have to accept that. Everything's not going to be sunshine and roses and rainbows. The Christian life is going to be difficult, but this is what God is calling us to, and you got to wrap your head around it.